Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montavilla Sewing Center, and today we're talking about the Baby Lock Verve. In this video, I'm going to show you how to wind the bobbin and thread the machine. Now, to start out with, when you go to unthread your machine, snip the thread right up here by the spool and pull the thread excess out at the needle. The reason for that is you don't want to pull your thread backwards out of your machine because that could cause bits of thread and lint and stuff to build up in the tension disc. So new habit, pull this way. That way your thread's always going towards the needle. Now for bobbin winding, you have a few extra bobbins that come with your machine. They're the plastic class 15 bobbins, and these are the Baby Lock bobbins. They're slightly rounded on the center. I would recommend getting those. And then when you put your spool of thread on your machine, have the thread coming from underneath like this, because it has to spiral off the end and you'll get less kinking if it's coming from underneath. So we put that on there. Always use the appropriate size spool cap for your spool. I'd like to give it a little bit of room so it can spin. These cross-wound spools, when they empty, they tend to want to spin a little bit, so I don't want to give any resistance to that. Now for bobbin winding, you're going to follow the thread path that is the dotted line. So we take our thread, start out under here, and then we go behind two, if you're looking at that, and then now we're going to thread this little tension disc. Go under there like that. Now it's got a little bit of tension on the thread. It's spring-loaded. That's going to help your bobbin wind nice and smoothly. So we take our bobbin thread, I'm going to show you down here, go from inside to outside through the side of the bobbin like that, and then leave a nice tail up above like this. Now we push this to the right, it's ready to wind. I'm holding that thread tail upright like this, put my foot on the pedal, and it starts winding. Now I'm hanging on to the thread tail all this time. Don't let it drop or else it'll get all tangled in there. You don't want to have that. But I'm holding on to it because as I'm making wraps around the inside of the bobbin, it's covering up the beginning of this thread tail like that. So I'm going to do that for several wraps. And then at this point, I can go ahead and trim that off flush with the top of the bobbin and keep winding. Now, you can wind a full bobbin and the wraps of the bobbin thread will push against this stopper, which will stop it from overwinding. So I only want a little bit of thread on mine. I'm going to stop, pull this back, and pull it off. Now there's these little cutter blades right here. You can cut off your thread tail like that. Now to set your bobbin, this is where we put our bobbin in. This little compartment here, and it has a picture right here showing you which way your bobbin thread goes, and it matters whether you have it this way or this way. So you want to make sure you have it this way. It looks like the letter P this way. Put that in there like that, and then guide it under this plastic fin here. Stop it from spinning as you pull it towards the back and give it a little bit of a pull. The reason we're stopping it from spinning is underneath this plastic flange here is a part of the bobbin case that has two pieces of metal. We want the thread to sink down into that tension area. You have tension up here, you also have it down here. So that's another reason to make sure that your thread is coming off the left-hand side so it sinks into that tension area. Then I'm going to pull the thread around to the right. There's a little cutter here. That's all that's necessary. You do not need to pull up your bobbin thread through the needle plate. So the bobbin's done. Now for the top here, I'm going to unthread that part. Okay, now we're going to follow the solid line. So the first two, 1 and 2, are the same, but this time it goes down to 3, comes up here to 4, and that's where your take-up lever is. I like to give it a little uphill pressure as I come around from right to left according to the arrow. Come down this way. 5 is just this channel. Now 6 is this little needle bar guide right here. I like to use 2 hands to get it from right to left right in there. And then make sure that your thread is coming right down here along 5. Now 7 and 8 are right here. 7 means you come right up into here where that 7 is. Make sure your presser foot's up also. That's important. I should have backed up on that. Whenever you're threading your machine, make sure your presser foot's up, because then your tension discs are open and your thread can sink right down where it needs to go. If your presser foot's down, tension is closed and your thread will not get into between the tension discs. So presser foot up. Okay, 7. Now 8 is your thread cutter on the side. That's important because it's going to leave the thread tail the right length for threading. There is a lever over here that's labeled 9. You push that down and it threads your machine. That loop of thread there has been pulled through the eye of the needle. Pull that and you've threaded your machine. Put the thread tail underneath the foot and you're ready to go. Threading this machine, as you can see, is pretty easy and almost fun to do. So if you found this video to be helpful, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments or questions, you can leave those in the area down below. We have lots of other videos on this machine and on other machines here on our Montavilla YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.